Welcome to practice. This is a warrior flow. It's a level 2 Vinyasa practice that is Budokon inspired, and it is based on the story of Virabhadra, the warrior. So come to a comfortable seat and close your eyes for a little bit of adult story time before we jump into practice. Once upon a time, a long time ago, there was a princess named Sati. And Sati was more than a normal human girl. She was the avatara, the human incarnation of the goddess Parvati. And in this tale, she was born to King Daksha. And Sati had come of age, and it was time for her to have a husband. It's a bit of a Cinderella story, but reversed. So King Daksha has this giant party, this ball, and invites all of the eligible bachelors in the kingdom to come and try their hand at winning over Sati's love. The night of the party arrives, and everyone is there, everyone who is anyone. And she's dancing with all of these men, and there's one particular gentleman that she is dancing with a lot. And her father has given her a mala of flowers, a ring of flowers, and she is to place the mala around the neck of the man that she chooses to marry. Well, when it comes time for Sati to do this, what her father doesn't know is that she is a devout lover of the god Shiva, the god of dissolution, the destroyer. And when it comes time for her to place the mala around a neck, she tosses the mala up into the air and invokes the name of Shiva, and he appears in the ballroom. And the mala lands around his neck, and she is betrothed to him. And her father is really, really horrified, because you have to remember that Shiva, in this regard, he's this guy that's like wandering around in cemeteries. He's got this wild dog. He is covered in funeral pyre ash. He's got messy, messy dreadlocks. He's a wild man who is known for going off to meditate for thousands of years at a time. So the king is not pleased, to say the least. Well, Sati and Shiva go off to the mountain to live and to be together, and a year passes, and King Daksha decides to host a yagna, a big fire sacrifice, a homa, a very sacred event, and he invites all of the gods and all of the demons and every creature in the land except for the god Shiva. Sati is so upset by this and wounded and hurt by her father's disregard that she goes to the party to confront him. And she's so upset that she goes before him and she draws up all of her siddhis, her yogic powers, goes into a meditative state and combusts. It's a little bit reactive. When she combusts and dies and disappears, Shiva is awakened from his meditation, and he is heartbroken. And in his grief, he stands up and rips out one of his dreadlocks and throws it to the earth. And this dreadlock burrows down through the ground, and it appears in the palace in a dust storm of rage and fire as Virabhadra, the warrior. And Virabhadra begins to just annihilate everyone in the palace, but his sights are set on King Daksha. And he walks up to him and removes his head. And when he removes his head, the grief that settles over the palace stirs Shiva's compassion. He looks around and sees the destruction that he has lain out of his own pain and his own divided mind. And stirred by compassion, he reabsorbs Virabhadra into his body, and he fashions a goat head for King Daksha and brings him back to life. And the moment that this happens, Sati reincarnates back as Parvati and appears on the scene once again. Now, it sounds like a bit of a dark story, as often many of these myths are, and it's important to remember that we are all the gods and all the demons and every character in the story, and that myths are self-conscious lies told in service of deeper truth. So what are we looking at here? One, we see what happens when we choose to act out of our reactivity, out of our lower mind, instead of practicing the pause and tapping into our highest self so we can make choices out of the peaceful flow of mind. We see the destruction that happens when we live in that reactive stimulus-reaction cycle way. We also see what happens when we're stirred by compassion and our ability to bring healing not only to ourselves but to others. And we see what happens when we live in a divided state. This practice today is about you and me learning to hold ourselves at the center of ourselves, to find the balance of ferocity when ferocity is required and peacefulness when peace is required. We have to be able to hold all of these paradoxes within ourselves and to be able to mediate them well. Rest your hands on your knees and start to deepen your breath. And as a symbolic act and as well as an energetic act to unite the two sides of ourselves, we'll begin with some Nadi Shodhanam alternate nostril breathing. Lift your right hand and tuck your index and middle finger in. Take your right thumb to your right nostril and your right forefinger to your left nostril. Exhale completely and seal the right nostril. And inhale through the left. Seal, pause, exhale out the right. Inhale right nostril. Seal both nostrils and exhale out the left. Inhale left nostril. Seal, exhale out the right. Inhale right nostril. Exhale left. Last round, inhale left. Exhale right. Release your hand. Softly open your eyes and make your way to what we call in the martial arts tradition Seiza. So sit back on your heels. Bring your right hand to your right thigh, your left hand to your left thigh, and we will bow into the practice, honoring our practice, honoring ourselves. Place your right hand on the mat. Place your left hand making a triangle, and with honor and respect, bow your forehead forward, bend your elbows. Lift your chest back up and bring your thumbs to your heart center, prayer hands, kindness in your heart. Bring your thumbs to your lips, kindness in your speech, and your thumbs to your third eye, kindness in your thoughts. Place your right hand on the floor. Place your left hand on the floor. Come forward onto your knees and step your right knee back and your left knee back to a 4-point base. Curl your toes under. Push the floor away from you, super strong, and gently claw the floor. Find that cobra hood in your upper middle back, so really, really press upper back to the sky, pushing the floor away harder than it's pushing you, and then slowly keeping the front body hollow, keeping that cobra hood, push your seat back to your heels. Keep the cobra hood and roll up and forward. More cobra hood, push the floor, push the floor, push the floor. Pull your navel point back, and now shift forward so your shoulders come past your wrists and open up, find a back bend. Tuck your chin in, tuck your tail, push the floor away, protracting your scapula. That means to broaden your scapula and push your upper middle back to the sky. Hollow your front body and slowly, again, push back, seat to heels. Again, push the floor away, round your upper back, roll forward, bring your shoulders past your wrists, and melt into a little back bend. And then push the floor away. Rounding your upper back, tucking your tail, big cobra hood. Push back to your child's pose. One more time. This time come up to all fours, round your upper middle back powerfully. Keep this push in the floor, claw the floor, step your right foot back to plank, step your left foot back to plank. Look forward, keep pushing the floor away, engage your glutes. And then now push your upper middle back to the sky even more, float up onto your toes, and vertebrae by vertebrae, roll back into downward facing dog. We're good. Okay. In this first downward facing dog, take a moment and alternate bending one knee, pushing the opposite heel to the floor, and then bending the other knee, pushing heel to the floor. Another moment. We'll take a spinal wave here, so find stillness in your downward facing dog. And tilt your tailbone as high as you can, so you're coming into what's called an anterior tilt in the pelvis. That means that you're like moving towards a back bend, and float super high up onto your toes, high as you can. Push your chest towards your thighs. Now start to tuck your tailbone underneath of you, pull your navel point in, and vertebrae by vertebrae, strong legs, find that cobra hood, roll forward, and when your shoulders come over your wrists, melt your pelvis towards the floor, coming into floating upward facing dog. Super strong in your legs, on the balls of your feet, broaden your collarbones. Now reverse that super slow. Tuck your chin to your chest, pull your belly in, push the floor away, pause in that cobra hood, push, 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 float up onto your toes, and vertebrae by vertebrae, roll back. And if that wasn't challenging, you are not doing it right. Pause here in downward facing dog. Bend your knees. And we're going to float through what is called floating frog. You can come all the way into an inversion if you wish, or just float your knees forward into malasana, a squat. And lower down into malasana. Bring your hands to your heart center. Pause here and shift side to side. Lift your chest. Move your neck around, whatever you need to do. And then bring your fingertips to the floor. Come up on to your balls of your feet and spin your heels out, right up on your fingertips. Lower your heels, but shift the weight forward, almost like you were going to come into a handstand press. And then use that to heel toe your feet together. Find a little bend in your knees. Bring your hands to your ankles and then drag them up to your thighs and round forward over your bent knees. We'll take some spinal waves here, coming through a halfway lift. So tuck your tail underneath of you, round your back, and then unfurl your spine into extension, almost like you were in a little chair pose, and then drop your belly back to your thighs and roll forward. Do that 2 more times. Roll your spine up, lengthen your chest forward, and melt your belly back to your thighs. 1 more time. Rolling through that spinal wave, melt forward. This time, roll all the way up to stand. Release your hands by your heels, super strong in your legs. Activate your glutes, trace the sides of your legs. Hollow your belly. Roll all the way up. Take your arms up alongside of your ears. Take a deep breath in. Find a little back bend. Lift up and off of yourself. Reach back up to the sky. Hinge from your hips and swan dive forward. Little bend in your knees. And plant your palms. Bend your elbows, come into a little squat position, and then step, jump, float back to chaturanga, hover in chaturanga. Lower your pelvis to the floor. Keep your toes curled under. Lift your seat up and walk your knees in, chin down, and now point the tops of your feet onto the floor. Tuck your tailbone underneath if you pull your abs in, vertebrae by vertebrae. Start to push through that cobra hood position all the way into upward facing dog. Open your chest. Tuck your chin to your chest. Push your back to the sky, and vertebrae by vertebrae, roll back, flipping one foot and then the other. And find down dog. Take a couple more breaths in downward facing dog and center your attention and your focus. It's through the cultivation of singular focus and attention that we start to still our reactivity and overcome the divided mind that even the great Shiva held within himself. Step your feet to touch and anchor through the L shape of the hands. Engage your abdomen, tilt your pubic bone up and back, and now lift your right foot up off of the floor and demi-point your foot. So push through the ball of the foot, spread your toes, and lift your right leg up to the sky, keeping your hips squared. Float up onto the ball of your left foot, reach the right leg higher, and now drag your right heel towards your butt, and round your front body, drag your knee to the nose, down the midline of your mat, shift forward, find that cobra hood, pause, push the floor away, pull your heel to your butt, even stronger, push, 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 and now step your right foot between your hands. Stay on the ball of your back foot. Plant your left hand, and out of the rooting down of the left hand, make a fist in your right hand for archer. Powerful in the back leg. Drag your bow back like the warrior. Stack your shoulders, twist, staying firm in the back leg. Now bend your left knee as you fluidly come up and look forward at your target. Pause here. Set your drifty, your focus straight in front of you. Draw your shoulders directly over your hips. Now from here, imagine this left hand was a blade and you're turning your right hand into a blade. Shoot your right arm forward as you circle your left arm back and pin your left heel down into warrior two. And this position was named after Virabhadra when he took the head off of King Daksha. So here, find the balance in your body of stability, ferocity in your legs, but also embodying the softness and the compassion that Shiva found near the end of the story. Now from here, we're going to move into a double block. So you're going to come onto the balls of your feet, get very light in your legs. Start to circle your right arm over and your left arm under as you come into this horse pose or goddess squat. So right forearm, left forearm, hovering on the balls of your feet. Now keep passing the arms past each other as you spin your right heel out and drop your left heel down. Draw the arms at a diagonal, push your right hand towards your right foot and your left arm to the sky. Now here, that back edge of the foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. The front foot is not in a traditional warrior position. Your toes are pointing towards like 10 o'clock, so the knee is in, so you can find more depth. And then be powerful in your hands and look down at your right foot. Take a nice deep breath in. Now bring your hands out in front of you. Push your palms away and start to come down into a drop squat or skandasana. As you lower down, spin to your right heel. Pause here. Super strong. You can use your hands if you need to. Lower your seat all the way to the floor. Now, from here, tracing the horizon, take your right hand behind you. Swing back towards your right hand. Come to the pinky edge of your right foot. And then circle that left arm, that blade, along the horizon line. Circle it up and back and find a warrior's bridge. Super powerful. Swoop that left arm down in front of your face. Guard your face as you lower your right hip back down. We're gonna spin all the way to a lunge on the left side. You are welcome to use your hands. Stay super active in the legs. Wind yourself up, get some tension in the spiral in the body to the right, and then swing your arms out in front of you and come all the way to the left in a low lunge. Plant your hands, take your chest forward, look forward. From the low lunge, drop to your back knee. Press the top of your foot down or keep the back toes curled under as you wish. Shift your hips back, coming onto your left heel, and flex your toes towards your face. Lengthen the front of your spine and fold forward over your left leg, bowing in, finding the position of the humble warrior who knows when to rest. Very good. Shift the weight back forward once again. Straighten your back leg and walk your hands to the inside of your left foot for lizard pose. Again, you may stay right here. If you have more flexibility, you can come down onto your forearms. Lengthen your chest forward. Take a nice deep breath in. Long breath out. Even in this restful posture, staying everything super active and staying attentive to your breathing. Walk your hands back up and step back to downward facing dog. A rolling vinyasa. Float up onto the balls of your feet. Tilt your pubic bone up and back. Draw your chest towards your thighs. Now tuck your tail, pull your abdomen in, hollow your front body, roll forward, find that cobra hood, and bend your elbows into chaturanga, hover, and lower all the way to the floor. Lift your butt up, drag your knees in, press the tops of your feet down. Tuck your tailbone, pull your abdomen in, scoop and roll, round, push up, and open into upward facing dog. Tuck your chin to your chest, hollow the front body, scoop and roll all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here in downward facing dog, reconnecting. And we'll take the other side, step your feet to touch. Again, as soon as you lift your left foot up, find a demi-point, push through the ball of the feet, spread your toes, activate the legs, float up onto your right leg, and lift your left leg to the sky. Keep your pelvis square. Drag your heel to your butt, round your back, pull your belly in, draw the knee down the midline, hollow the front body, push the floor away, and step the left foot between your hands. Push your right hand down, make a fist in your left hand. Drag your left elbow to the sky, draw your bow, stack the shoulders. And as you come up, look at your target out in front of you and bend your right knee. Draw your pubic bone forward. Once again, make a blade in your right hand. Circle the right arm back, shoot the left arm forward into Virabhadra 2. Set your drishti, your attention, your focus out over your left hand. Get light on the feet, come to the balls of the feet, circle the left arm over the right as you spin your right heel in to goddess pose. And then keep going. Spin, right hand to the sky, left heel down. Again, your right toes are pointing now towards about 2 o'clock. Double block, sink into the hips. Take your hands out in front of you and start to come into that drop squat. Again, you're gonna need to spin onto your left heel. Push forward, seat back. Come down nice and slow, and then trace the horizon. Swing your arms back, plant your left hand. Push up evenly into both feet. Bridge the hips. Draw your right hand down, guard the face, lower your left hip. Swing, recoil out of the swing to the left, all the way around to the right, coming into your low lunge. Drop to your back knee. Shift your hips back. Flex your right toes towards your knee, just like the other side. Lengthen your spine and fold forward over your legs. Deep breaths. Walk your hands back forward. Straighten your back leg. Walk your right hand to the inside of your right foot. Look forward. If you have the space in your body, walk down onto your forearms for lizard pose. Open the hips. Walk your hands back in and step back, downward facing dog. Rolling vinyasa, float up onto your toes, poke your tailbone up to the sky, tuck your tail underneath of you, hollow your front body, and roll forward. Super slow, find the cobra hood, roll down to chaturanga, hold. Lower to your belly. Drag the knees in, seat up, press into the tops of your feet. Tuck your tailbone underneath of you, push the floor away, hollow the front body, roll forward into upward dog. Tuck your chin to your chest, find the cobra hood, push, push, push the floor away, scoop and roll, up and back, downward facing dog. And take a moment to reconnect with your breath. From downward facing dog, sweep your right leg back behind you, pushing through the ball of the foot. Drag your heel to your butt, round your back, scoop and roll forward, and step your right foot all the way between your hands. Pin your back heel down for warrior one, and tuck your chin to your chest, pull your navel point back, and roll your spine up. Sweep your arms up alongside of your ears. Take a nice deep breath in, and exhale, pitch your chest forward, sweep your arms back. Inhale, lift your chest back up. Exhale, arms back, chest forward. Good, this time, inhale, chest up. Exhale, pitch your chest forward, come onto the ball of your back foot, and then lean forward and lift your back leg up, coming into Virabhadra 3. Take your arms forward, sword forward, embody Virabhadra, and now bend your right knee and step your left foot back and then take it out to the side and shorten your stance. So your toes are more forward and you're in a more powerful position in your legs, setting up for coiling dragon. From here, take your sword to the right, slice across the midline on the horizon, spin on the balls of your feet, and then plant your left foot, drag your right heel in, and extend your arms at a diagonal. Bring your hands to your heart center and slowly lower down onto your right shin, and then take your seat to the floor. Take your left hand behind you and your right arm to the outside of your left knee. Look back over your left shoulder. Ardha Matsyendrasana, half floor to the fish. Okay, this is also a little bit of a funny transition. From here, you can use your hands if you need to. Come up onto your right shin and now spin. Stay very low to the ground through a squat. I want you to pick up your sword with your left hand. Take your right arm back and then re-extend your left leg once again. Push through the ball of your foot. Bring your hands to your heart center, interlace your fingers, and pull your knee up into your chest. Demi-point the foot. Take a nice deep breath in, and now thread your left foot back, once again, coming in to warrior 3 for the second time. Bend your right knee, place the ball of your left foot on the floor, lift up powerful and strong, and now take your hands back down to the floor and step back, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths in down dog before we do the left side, and you, I'm sure, noticed you might end up off of your mat. It's totally fine. I rarely actually practice with a mat. You can even ditch it if it's easier for you. Bring your feet to touch and lift your left foot up. Demi-point the ball of the foot. Drag your heel to your butt, round your back, drag your knee to your nose, and step your left foot through. Pin your back heel down and draw your chin in, navel point back, roll into warrior 1. Take your arms up. Exhale, pitch your chest forward, sweep your arms back. Again, inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, pitch your arms back, chest forward. This time, inhale, lift your chest. And exhale, sweep your arms back, come to the ball of your back foot, and then lean forward and find warrior three. Stretch your sword forward. Bend your left knee and come onto your right foot. Lift your chest once again and take a super wide warrior one. So toes more forward, short stance, really powerful in your legs. And now sweep your sword along the horizon line, turn towards your back leg, spin on the balls of your feet, drag your left foot in, extend the arms for coiling dragon. Bring your hands to your heart and lower down onto your left shin and then onto your seat for Ardha Matsyendrasana. Take your right hand behind you and your left arm to the sky, twist to the right, hook your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. You'll find you'll stick to your mat in this next little transition, which takes some of the smoothness out of it. Drop your courage in your ferocity, swing around, come forward onto your left shin. Right away, tuck your back toes underneath of you. And then remember, you're going to pick up your sword with your right hand. So spin on the balls of your feet, come all the way through and forward, and lift your right leg back behind you for revolved flying warrior. Now from here, bring your hands to your heart center, drag your knee into your chest, lift your chest, lift your knee, and now thread your right foot back and your arms forward to warrior three. Once again, chest forward, heel back. Bend your left knee, plant the ball of your right foot on the floor, lift your chest in this modified warrior one or crescent lunge, and then bring your hands to the mat, or half on the mat, half on the floor if you're me, and step back to downward facing dog. I'm going to take a little walk back over onto my mat. You might need to as well. From here, bend both of your knees. Look forward at your hands for kicking lion. We're going to go really slow. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Pick up your left foot and coil it in. Demi-point your foot. Shoot your left foot out in front of you. Drag your right elbow back and push through the ball of your left foot. Now recoil, step your left foot back, step your right foot back, bend your knees like you were crouching to prance on something. Look forward, step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Weight your right hand, pick up your left hand, and coil your right foot in, pushing through the ball of your right foot. Shoot your right foot through, drag your left elbow back, guarding your face, push through the ball of your right foot. Now once again, recoil, right foot in, step it back, step your left foot back, bend both of your knees. Again, look forward, crouching, launch your right foot forward, weight your left hand, pick your left foot up, shoot it through, drag your right hand back, powerful. Recoil, step back, bend both of your knees. Launch the left foot forward, drag your right heel in, shoot the right foot through, draw your left elbow back. Recoil, left hand down, right foot back, left foot back. A little bit quicker, right foot forward, left foot steps through, pull the right elbow back, leap back. Step the left foot forward, shoot the right foot through, jump back. One more set, right foot forward, left foot through, pull the right elbow back, jump back. Left foot to the outside of your left hand, right foot through, jump back. Very good. Drop to your knees for a moment and take a second in child's pose. Forehead on the mat. Take 2 more breaths in child's pose, coming home to yourself for a moment, returning from the battle, the proverbial battle. Embody here the softness that can accompany our ferocity. And from here, bring your knees in line with one another.
Pin your hands back to your heels. And from here, keep your hands on your heels. You're welcome to curl your toes under as a modification. Start to roll your chin to your chest, rounding your back. And as soon as you are partway up, drive your pubic bone forward, spin your fingertips, and roll open into Ustrasana, camel pose. Tuck your chin to your chest, round your upper back, start to lower your seat, and coil all the way forward. 2 more. Push into your feet, into your hands. Drive the pelvis forward and unfurl. Chin to your chest, around your back. Scoop and roll in. 1 more time. Drive the pelvis forward. Spinal wave. Chin to chest. Round your back. Lower your seat back down. Pause and rest again. Nice deep breath in. Long breath out. Plant your hands next to your knees. Lift your chest up. Bring your hands next to your feet. Lift up and slide your feet through. Extend your arms. If you're feeling frisky, you can take that as a jump through. Extend your legs out in front of you. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, hinge from your hips and fold forward. Inhale, pull back halfway. And exhale, fold forward. Stay here. 3 breaths. Lengthen your chest forward and sit all the way up. Come onto your back. Bend your knees, place the soles of your feet on the floor, your palms next to your hips for dynamic bridge. Inhale, lift your hips, sweep your arms alongside of your ears. Exhale, lower your hips, lower your arms. Once again, inhale, lift your hips, sweep your arms. Exhale, lower down. 1 more time, dynamic inhale. Exhale, lower. And this time, inhale, sweep your arms up. Keep your hips lifted and either lower your arms, taking full bridge pose here, interlacing your fingers at your lower back, or if you wish, plant your hands next to your ears with your fingertips pointing towards your heels. Push into your feet and press to the crown of your head. Pause, huck your elbows in, and then straighten your arms for Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow. Draw your chin to your chest, bend your elbows, tuck your chin in, lower to your upper middle back, come out of your bridge if that's what you chose, and rest with your palms at your side for a moment. Pull your knees into your chest. Inhale, straighten your legs to the sky and take your arms alongside of your ears. And exhale, bend your knees in, lower your arms. 4 more. Inhale, arms and legs reach. Exhale, bend your knees, lower your arms. 2 more. In and X. Last time. In and X. Just a moment to restabilize the low belly and the lower back. You have a couple choices here. Level 1 is to make a little triangle underneath of your sacrum and stretch your legs to the sky, and we'll lift and lower the legs from here. Level 2, curl your head, neck, and shoulders up, make little tents under your fingers, and lift up here. Wherever you are, push through the balls of your feet. Lower the legs down and lift them back up. And now here, curl your tailbone up off of the floor with your abdominals. Lower your tail back down, lower your legs. Lift your legs, Curl your tail up off of the mat and lower down. Again, lower the legs. Curl, lift up. Again, lower the legs. Curl, lift up. 5 more, lower the legs. Curl, lift up. 4. 3. 2. Active legs. Last time. Pull your knees into your chest once again. Open up your arms to a T shape and drop your knees to the right. Turn your head to the left. Take your knees up and over to the left, head to the right. Come back up to the center. Grab onto your knees and widen them towards your armpits. Stack your ankles over your knees and reach for your calves. Your ankles are the picky edges of your feet. And take happy baby. Bend your knees in. Wrap your forearms around your shins and bring your forehead to your knees. Hug everything in. And then extend your legs along the floor. Flip your palms towards the sky. Nestle your shoulder blades underneath of you. And settle into shavasana. And final transformation. As you come to this resting place, take 3 or 4 deep breaths with your chest still, allowing your abdomen to be soft. And then letting go of both the ferocity, the softness, the divided mind, all these pieces that we hold within ourselves. Let all of it go and allow yourself to rest in effortless awareness. Allowing yourself for just a few minutes to rest in that sublime state where your subject is not attached to any object. Just effortless awareness and body breathing.
And to deepen your breath, and turning awareness to your physical body. Make your way to a fetal position on one side. And press yourself up to a seat. And close your eyes. And establish Kaya Sthira, the body still. And take a few steady breaths here. As I said at the beginning, we are all the gods and all the demons and every character in the story. And it's not about if the story is true, but how we can relate to it and pull the wisdom into our own lives. It's not a matter of if you're going to get reactive, it's when. But what we can do is learn to practice pausing so that we can choose graceful response without all of the consequences, the karma that comes when we are explosive in our reactivity. We can practice being the peaceful warrior, but that requires that we hold within ourselves the potential for both ferocity and peace, and that we know when to exercise which. It's not a denial of who we are, but a responsible expression of all of the pieces and parts of ourselves. And not allowing that to unleash unwillfully, but to choose conscious response instead of automatic reaction. To have vira, courage. To hold compassion and ferocity when it's needed. And to know when and how to pull these pieces of ourselves out. Rub your hands together in front of your face. Cup your palms over your eyes. Light touch. Let the darkness in behind your palms. And release your palms and let in the light, bringing your hands to your heart and welcoming yourself back. Let's come back onto our knees to Seiza position once again, to bow out of our class to give honor to ourselves, to the practice. Bring your hands to your thighs, lower your right hand down and your left hand down. Chest forward with strength, bend your elbows and bow. And lift your chest, return your hands to your knees. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, and I will be with you again very soon.